Hey guys, welcome aboard, welcome back, welcome home. As always, completely and totally dependent on where you happen to be in relation to these energies, this week, this channel, all the good things. This is a week in motion. This is the 20th of March through the 26th of March 2023. So let's just get into it because there's a lot going on. So on Monday the 20th, the moon in Pisces sextiles Uranus and Taurus, and then the sun in Pisces sextiles Pluto, ticking down his time in Capricorn. And then the sun at 4:24 p.m. Central Time moves into Aries for the spring equinox, right? Harboring the arrival of Aries season. So that moon sextile Uranus really primes us for shift and change. And then the sun's gravitational slingshot kind of with Pluto being at 29 degrees of Capricorn, right, offers us access to really the deepest well of soul possibilities before that sun traverses into Aries. And it's quite a launch, right? So there's all of this kind of like pull back and release energy, right? It's a week of launching in very, very, very many ways. So we started out Monday with Aries season. And so here's the thing. If you have anything that you are contemplating beginning, this is 100% the week to do it. Get it done on Monday, no matter what it is. Set the wheel in motion on Monday. On Tuesday, the 21st, the Pisces moon conjuncts Neptune and squares Mars, sextiles Pluto, and then the moon blazes into Aries as well. And at 12:23 p.m. Central Time, we have a 0-degree Aries new moon, right? And then the moon will also conjunct Mercury. So here's the deal. Mind your dreams. Wake up and use those visions and the power that is behind them. The new moon is very strongly conjunct Pluto and squaring Mars, right? So this is about goals, points of power. This is about your capability to create. Okay, so it's your capability. And so what you want to be sure that you are in awareness of, mindful of, and utilizing your intention with is your capacity, right? Because your capability always depends on your capacity. So make sure that your capacity is aligned to your highest and best. And then allow for that expression, right? We kind of had a little bit of energy last week that was about daring, taking the risk. With this new moon conjuncting Mercury, be an expression of your intentions, your goals, your dreams, right? Speak them so that they follow, right? On Wednesday, the 22nd, the Aries moon conjuncts both Chiron and Jupiter. So Wednesday is a day for self-care. Yes, absolutely. It is a day to indulge, but please make sure that you're using your discernment, right? Don't fall prey to avoidance or any old habits that are no longer serving the self that you are, and then devote yourself to yourself, right? It's a big yes day. So whatever it is that you need on Wednesday, do it, right? Bring it in, make it happen, create the space for it, and then follow along. On Thursday, the 23rd of March, Pluto at 7:13 a.m. Central Time moves into Aquarius. After that, the Aries moon will sextile Mars. And then the moon moves into Taurus, and that Taurus moon squares Pluto. Both, excuse me, at exactly the same minute of chronological time, right? So be mindful. That is a powerful kind of conjunct dual aspect. And then the Taurus moon will sextile Saturn. So here's the deal. Pluto, right, the Lord of transformation, the Lord of destruction and renewal, the Lord of power, is moving into Aquarius, right, changing signs for the first time since 2008. And Aquarius is all about eccentricities, right? Invention, innovation, the collective, revolution, science, fanaticism, genius, right? So there's a lot of energy that's going to be available to us. There's going to be a shift in our collective generational awarenesses, right? Yeah, coming out of Capricorn into Aquarius is going to be a ride. And that moon in Pluto squaring, or that moon in Taurus squaring Pluto, is really asking us to be very self-examined and not rigid, right? That later sextile to Saturn is really going to give us the power behind the scenes to recall our why and devote ourselves to our own follow-through, right? So as we talked about this early week really being about intention, about beginning, about inception, all of those whys are going to always come back into the spotlight so that you can remind and re-inform yourself. So take that for what it is worth. Remembering your why is going to be really important. On Friday, the 24th, the Taurus moon conjuncts both Venus and Uranus in Taurus, right? So that activation, right, with those two Taurus placements, along with the North Node, is really going to be spotlighting us to things like that better felt than spoken sense of home, our destiny, right? And any and all changes that are required to make your ideals of kind of your own personal utopia more of a reality, right? So we have a 29-degree Gemini Mars squaring a 1-degree Saturn in Pisces. So you may experience challenges to your capability to get shit done, right? But that alignment to purpose, that alignment to your why is going to override those. So let your devotion kind of invite you along. You know, and if you can maintain your devotion and awareness to those heart's desires, to your causes, to your overarching mission, right? That can be your catalyzing factor on all those levels. That change can happen, and it can happen pretty easily if you allow it to. On Saturday the 25th, Mars moves into Cancer very early in the morning, Central Time. And then Mars is going to quincunx Pluto, right? Of course, right? Our big movers have to kind of touch one another. Of course, that's just kind of how it always works. Best to activate those energies. And then the Taurus moon is going to sextile Neptune. The moon moves into Gemini, kind of rebooting that energetic, right? And then the moon will trine Pluto and square Saturn. So here's the deal. Mars is that planet of action, of will, of motion. And moving into Cancer, it's going to shift and change those experiences for you, kind of inward, right, towards that sense of home, of memory, of cycles, right? And so that Mars quincunxing Pluto is really going to illuminate the power of that cycle. So pay it mind, right? All those things that we've learned with Mars in Gemini since October, right? Last October of 2022. So we are building that sense of home from the bottom up, right? So it's time to let all those limitless visions that we've experienced with Mars in Gemini, to allow those to start to become reality, right? This is, of course, the informing, overarching, let's call it, availability, right, to this kind of inceptive energy of this shift in our planetary energies, is really giving us the how to the why, right? So now we step into that kind of what comes next, which is a beautiful thing. On Sunday, the moon in Gemini will sextile the Aries sun. And then Mercury in Aries will conjunct Chiron. So Sunday is a day for breathing, right? If you're invited to express at all today, like if you're invited into conversation, or if you're invited to share your thoughts, opinions, or whatever's inside of you, tend toward the progressive, toward your highest and best, right? Those are going to be the buzzwords. Stay out of any prior patterns, right? No backsliding, no old patterns, no wounds, no limiting beliefs, right? Step into your A game, really, your new game, and really mind what you're building, and pay attention to anything that doesn't have a strong foundation, anything that feels interesting, anything that feels shaky or uneven. Pay attention to those places and perhaps choose a different place for your footing, right? With Pluto changing signs into Aquarius and Mars changing signs into Cancer, and then we've got a new moon, we've got Aries season. This is about domesticity, right? Your experience of home as well as your ideal of home, right? So just how that better felt and spoken sense creates your actual reality. And also, this is a really important time to note your place in your vision of home, right? It's important to have that vision, but it's also important to put yourself there, and notice all of those shifts that happen as the energy flows, right? And stay in that flow. You don't want to be rigid. You want to keep moving with the currents. So on Monday, Aries season, 4 Wands, King of Pentacles. Come on, how beautiful is that? So we have our shared experience of what is building, or what we have built, or what we choose to build. And then the King of Pentacles, who has all of those resources. Whatever it is, start it. Right? You have fate on your side. You have universal backing. Always you do, but today very, very strongly. So utilize that sense. Utilize that Lord of Transformation in creating what your what will bring you bliss, what will bring you joy, what will bring that satisfaction and contentment, right? This is all about your passionate creations. And this is all about the certainty of that creation. So allow your process to be not just your process, but your reality. On Tuesday, wow, 4 of Swords and 7 of Swords. Okay, 4 of Swords is about stopping, paying attention. It's about really examining your own beliefs, your expectations, your expressions, right? How perhaps some of the things that you have shared as your own expression or your own this is like that self-fulfilling prophecy, right? And it hurts your feelings, but you know you called it in. And 7 of Swords, really, this is about self-deception, right? It's about either deceiving, but paired with this is about self-deception. So that is the day of our new moon. So what we wanted to have conversation about is that new moon, right? Conjunct Pluto squaring Mars. Conjunct Pluto squaring Mars, right? And how your capability to create controls your capacity. Your capability to create controls your capacity. So all the places where you're willing to tell the truth allow you to be in creation in a deeper, wider, more kind of way. And all the places where you choose to believe you're limited, you are limited in your expression. So just be aware of how you are creating any self-fulfilling prophecies, right? And make sure that your goals and your capabilities are in full width and depth and breadth, so that what you are attracting and what you are beginning is going to reap the benefits that you choose, right? Foundations, strong foundations. On Wednesday, we've got the King of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. So the King of Swords, right, this is about really witnessing those ideas, those beliefs, and cutting away anything that is not in alignment. Knight of Pentacles, he is the slowest moving knight in the deck, but he is all about stamina and endurance. He's always going to get where you need to go, right? So we talked about this as a day of self-care, right? A day to indulge, but minding your discernment, right? And making sure that we're not falling prey to any avoidances or any old habits that are no longer self-serving, right? So if it takes a little longer to get somewhere without cutting corners, make sure that your devotion is angled in the most appropriate way for you. And whatever you need to do, do it, right? Just do it. On Thursday, Queen of Cups, Magician. How beautiful for a day where Pluto changes signs into Aquarius, right? I love how this is a little bit likening the water bearer, right? Yeah. Anyway, so let's talk about that. This is a day that we talked about self-examined lives, right? Not being rigid, and really knowing that we have the power behind the scenes to recall our why. Well, the Queen of Cups is all about our why, right? She is about that emotional capacity to act, to not be afraid to experience any emotion, regardless of where it falls on the spectrum. And the Magician is how we create through all of our elemental awarenesses, right? We are the master of our creation. And the more self-examined we are, the more access we have to those capabilities and capacities. So however you want to create is absolutely balanced by how deeply you're willing to feel into that creation. And so as you witness that energy coming to bear, where Pluto, that Lord of transformation and renewal and power, is changing signs after so long, right? 2008, that was a long time ago. Moving into that energy of Aquarius, where we are really going to be able to express in our highest and best, right? For the collective. This is how we put ourselves into action in service to not only ourselves, but the collective. That is our why, right? Service is always our why, right? Innovation. What can I do in alignment with my best heart's desire experience? Well, we have the power to follow through. We simply have to claim it. Kind of fearlessly. So on Friday, we've got the Seven of Swords again and the Ten of Wands. So again, we're going to remind ourselves, right? Seven of Wands is about self-deception, right? It's about the way that we think we're getting away with things, the way that we bullshit ourselves, or the way that we create a structure that is flawed. And the Ten of Wands is about, no, I am overwhelmed by that. I can no longer sustain it, right? Some of these things, which may have been picked up because they met my passionate needs at the time, or they inspired me at the time, but they're overwhelming, right? And we tell ourselves, sure, I can manage that, sure, I can manage that, sure, I can manage that, but when in fact you really can't, right? And so we have that moon activating both Venus and Uranus. That is home, 3D love, and change. So anything that you can witness as your destiny, some things are going to have to be pared down, right? Anything that is aligned with your purpose can override those things, right? But let devotion let your heart's desires and causes be your catalyzing factor, but also know what to put down, what to walk away, and when to stop bullshitting yourself about how your version of home feels, how it manifests, how it looks, how it tastes, how it smells, right? Sometimes those things are deceptive, and sometimes your old beliefs and patterns have to go so that you can step into something new. What are you willing to release? Figure that out. Figure that out. On Saturday, we've got the Wheel of Fortune, the Four of Pentacles. So this is required change, right? This is all things move in flow. There's no way that we can deny that. There's no way that we can stop and hold on to that. And the Four of Pentacles wants to stop and hold on, right? This is a card of hoarding, of conservation, of stopping, of I'm in scarcity. I'm afraid to let go. And the Wheel of Fortune says, dude, if you don't let go, you're going to get crushed beneath it. So as Mars moves into Cancer, and the moon will kind of bump right into that Gemini energy and activate all of those limitless kind of endless possibilities. Really mind the power of this cycle. All those things that you've been learning since October of 22, right? We are going to build from the bottom up, right? It's time to let go and let inception be your draw. Let inception be your guiding factor, right? You have to move through all of your cycles, which means that sometimes you have to open your hands in order to receive something else. Yeah. Life does not let you hold on to anything, right? That is an illusion. On Sunday, look, we've got the Star. How beautiful is that? And the Nine of Pentacles. This is that day to breathe, right? Being invited to express, always choosing your highest and best, right? We are not going to backslide. We're not going to fall into old patterns. The Star, of course, being that energy of hope and renewal, right? The Star comes next after the Tower. So all those things that have been shattered, destroyed, that Shiva consciousness energy of destruction and creation. This is the renewal card. And as Pluto has shifted signs into Aquarius, the Star is the card of Aquarius this week. So it only follows suit. Nine of Pentacles says, I've got this, right? I've got this. We are stepping into our new game. We are minding what we are building, right? And I've got this. I've got it, which is a beautiful way to roll through this week. Wow. So let's start here. So we've got mirror, mirror, right? What you're seeing is what you're calling in. What you're seeing is a reflection of you at this moment. What you're witnessing in your experience, in your expression, in your life is simply showing you who and what you are right now. And so if you're not digging it, simply change your self-view. Find a new capability, right? Learn a new way to experience yourself and witness your external circumstances change. This is the root of all change, right? All that you're seeing is your reflection. So the more you can learn about how to shift and change that, the better off everything is for you. Look at this card. This is so beautiful. Look at that spiral. Do you see it? Empty well. Time to replenish. Well, no kidding, right? We've got all these big shifts and changes. So let's have this conversation. Empty well. Nothing here. Time to replenish. Diminishing yourself for another. The empty well reveals that there is nothing for you here. The well is dry. The desert is encroaching on your once fertile garden. It is time to face reality and move on. Why, thank you. Give gratitude and thanks for the abundance that you have experienced, and let Spirit guide you to the next destination. This might mean saying goodbye to someone or something, or insisting on changing the rules of your game. I think we just talked about that, did we not? Stop diminishing yourself for the sake of another. Making yourself small will not produce the results you want, right? We see this in our Seven of Swords, in our Ten of Wands. There is a lack of reciprocity, a lack of give and take. You bet there is. You bet. He's sitting right there. The empty well tells you that it is time to reclaim what is yours and return what does not belong to you. The shadows cast in your direction are not of your making. You do not need to respond to them, as they are not real, right? We talked about this illusion. Simply shine your light upon them and see how it dispels them. These shadows are projections that you have been confusing for reality. You may have been offered a shovel to help dig yourself out of an uncomfortable situation, a bucket to drink from the well. Really? You think? Okay. But you cannot dig yourself out of this hole, and remember that there is no water to be found in that well. Receive the empty gift, or receive the empty well as a gift. Do not exert your energy or waste your resources by repairing the walls or mending the rope. Follow the course of the waterway, the aquifers that run deep in the earth. You will be led to a new spring oasis. You can find these underground streams, these rich natural resources, in the subterranean depths of your own heart. Listen. I mean, rewind that and listen to it 10 times if you need to. It is literally the summation of all the things we just said. This is a giant energetic week. Focus on your better felt than spoken sense of home and how you are creating it. And whether or not it looks like what you want completely is determined by you. Change where you are expending your energy, and where you are expending your energy will change, right? This is a beautifully supported week to do just that. So, wow, blessed new moon, and get out there and get it done. You're killing it. You're crushing it. Keep doing it.